now have Arun Jeyarajan. Following his first-class honours in his Masters in Aeronautical Engineering at the University of Surrey, Arun continued his ambitions in engineering throughout his career. Arun worked as a development support engineer at BOC, followed by his role as product integrity engineer at IPECO, an industry in manufacturing pilot and crew seats for Airbus and Boeing. He later took on the role of environmental test engineer at Teledyne E2V, where he displayed the versatility of his engineering knowledge by working on the manufacturing of image sensors for space application. He continued his position, which he currently holds as an environmental test engineer at Martin Baker Aircraft, using his previous experience and vast knowledge by working in the crucial and commendable projects of the manufacturing of pilot ejection seats for military jets. Arun upkeeps with his external hobbies outside of work, such as his keen participation in football match. He also participated in hip-hop dances at university, competing at various tournaments at Loughborough and Southampton, just to name a few. I'd also like to highlight that Arun tutors for maths, physics and chemistry. Maths and physics up to A-level and chemistry up to GCSE. So evidently a man of very many talents. Arun, could you please take the floor? Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Arun Jeyarajan. Engineering, what is engineering? It's problem solving. There's tasks where in the world where there's global warming issues, traveling issues, how to make things efficient, and that's where engineering comes into place. Problem solving and creating a manufacture of parts. I've decided to take my career into aerospace engineering. Aerospace engineering is all about how aircraft work, how the engines work, how they fly, how satellites orbit sun, exploring galaxies, trying to find another Earth. It's quite interesting career progression there. My passion for engineering started when I was young. I used to travel quite a bit when I was younger with my parents. Traveled by myself as well at the age of 13 to Australia, Sri Lanka, and that's where my inspiration has come from. How a metallic heavy tube flies in the air is mind-blowing to me. And every time I step on an aircraft, I have that thrill and excitement, and that's my passion. If you put your hand out when you're driving in a car, you put your hand out, and you tilt your angle of your hand up, and there's a force acting on your hand. That's how an aircraft flies. Something simple like that. It's incredible. Again, the Concorde was a fantastic flight. It retired in 2003 due to a devastating crash. All of these things are engineering phenomenon. We're always learning and striving to reach our best potential. So let me go back to my GCSE time when I was deciding what I want to do. I've always wanted to be work in an industry in the aircraft field, and I don't know what to do it in. First thing, as a youngster, you want to be a pilot, with the hat on, with the stripes on your badge. It's exciting, traveling around everywhere. But I was thinking ahead of my life, where when I do get married and you have kids, you're always out and about. You miss your family. I'm a family-orientated guy. And I decided to do engineering in aerospace. And what you learn there is thermodynamic cycles, heat transfers. You literally learn the whole lot, how engine works, how the electronics work, all down to subatomic particle level, electrons, neutrons, protons, how they interact, materials, how you can join them and weld them. So for my, after graduation, I've worked at a company called BOC. It's a British oxygen company. They supply special gases to NHS, so oxygen cylinders, they're run by BOC. And you have argon gas for welding, for engineering, so they supply many industries, so food industries, vehicle, aerospace industries. That company is not very specific to aerospace, but all experiences lead up to where you want to become. So at BOC, I've done 3D modeling of parts, components that fill the structure. Then after that, I've moved down to Teledyne E2V, which is interesting. Sorry, before Teledyne E2V, I did a stress engineering job at IPCO down at Southend. We manufacture aircraft seats and cruise seats for Airbus and Boeing. So as a stress engineer, you identify a design and you put it through a model and you predict failures. So you do crash testing of pilot seats. You have a sled and you ram this seat at a certain pulse. And the pulses you're talking about is about 20 G. So 20 G is 20 times gravitational strength plus your mass of the whole seat. That's quite a huge force. And these pilots need to survive these crash landings to ensure that all the passengers can evacuate and they don't cripple their legs or injure their head or injure their arms. So these are quite interesting and essential parts for these aircraft. So it was good. I had an experience in visualizing test. You can design, manufacture, test, and validate everything. And if you go on an Airbus or Boeing aircraft, one of our seats are at the pilot seat. Pilot seats and co-pilot seats, you can see that's our product there. I later moved on to Teledyne E2V. I changed my career into testing, and we were testing space imaging products. So you must know about the Hubble telescope. There is a new telescope called the James Webb Telescope, and our company produced the imaging sensor for that. So we were published in BBC. You can see galaxies and further stars, crystal clear. So we produced that. And while at Teledyne E2V, we did testing such as vibration. So when there's a rocket going up into space, there's harsh vibration forces acting on the structure. And you also do hot and cold chambers. You want to make sure that your device works in space, even at extreme temperatures. You're looking about 90 degrees positive and about minus 150 degrees in temperature working range. Later, I moved to Martin Baker Aircraft Company, which is in Uxbridge, and we supply military aircraft ejection seats, and we've saved over 7,600 pilots since 1946. Again, I've moved into the testing role, and again, we do vibration work, some explosive testing. So the ejection seat has some sort of detonation, explosives underneath, and that's how we try and save the pilot in an emergency when it's coming down. I just want to say, in terms of advice, I know a lot of Asians love to be engineers, doctors, but you should all pursue your own career. You need to enjoy what you do. Don't do anything that you might regret later on. But there is still time. Even I've done an aerospace degree. It was my own choice, and I loved what I do. I love what I do, and that's what needs to be. That's what you guys need to achieve. even if you do an engineering degree, you have the skills to do anything else. You can go into banking after that. You can go into finance. There's a lot of transferable skills that our fellow speakers have spoken about, and those skills are, you can use them to do whatever you want. You're not really restricted to engineering. You can go into other things. In aerospace engineering, there are other career choices you can do. You can go into mechanical engineering, civil, chemical, nuclear engineering. We're trying to find a new energy source because we're running out of fossil fuels. So there's a lot of market for nuclear scientists trying to solve our global issues. So there's a lot out there, and yes, you can change your career whatever you want to data science as well. There's a couple of colleagues of mine who've changed from engineering to data science. The only downfall with engineering is it's a slow progression, and that's what a lot of people deviate from engineering to banking or finance. But if you need to love what you do. That's one of the facts that I would like to say. Yeah, that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, find me at the booth. Thank you.